What's going on, everyone? Today, we are actually coming to you on the road. We are in Ohio, and we came down to check out the lunar or solar eclipse that's going to be happening. Um, Today's topic of the video, though, we are actually going to talk about home charging, and more specifically, what you can do if you don't have home charging equipment after you purchase your Tesla. So there are two different types of home charging equipment that you could get. One is called the mobile unit or mobile connector, and most people will buy that when they purchase their Tesla. The second option you could get is called the wall connector, and that one's a little more expensive, higher price point, and you also need to have that installed by a certified electrician. Um, but if you don't have either piece of those equipment, what can you do to charge your Tesla? Well, we have 10 tips to help figure that out. So, tip one, and if you're road tripping, is look for hotels that might have charging at on their property. And a way you could do that too is you can look it through Tesla, through the app or on screen, and it's called destination chargers. We have noticed in the short time we've had our Tesla that you might find superchargers at hotels, restaurants, sometimes at shopping centers or strip malls, and they work really well to get you charged up and get you on your way. If you don't own a piece of home equipment, it's nice to know, like, if you have a supercharger close by that you could just make a quick trip to and get a charge. Tip three. This one kind of goes with the previous one, but some places of employment will actually have charging stations, so you can charge at work. If there are charging facilities, I would highly recommend taking advantage of this option. Plug in your Tesla while you're working, and after your 8-hour day, 6-hour day, whatever, 12-hour day, you can come out and commute home, and you should have a decent charge. Um, Tip four is you could do a little bit of a search on the internet to explore public options. Public options are a little bit different than like Tesla superchargers. They might be these charging units are installed maybe by a municipality, and what you would do is find out what's available. Most of these you would have to download an app and then kind of pay through the app to charge, but there are installations. There, I don't really know like how big the network is, but I do know that they have this available in some municipalities. We actually ran into one last night when we stopped at the hotel that we stayed at. The hotel itself didn't have charging through the hotel, but there was a charger outside on the premises in the parking lot, but it was run by the county, I believe. And so you needed to download the app, pay through the app, and then you could take advantage of the charging. Tip five, biggest, probably, the easiest and best tip is to use Tesla superchargers. Again, this is one that anybody with a Tesla is probably taking advantage of, and if you're not, you should. The network is very extensive, and it is designed for long distance travel and rapid charging. Sometimes you will get a charger that it's not outputting a good charge. Again, we ran into this yesterday where we thought we were at a supercharger that did 250 kilowatts, but in reality, we were only getting 50 kilowatts, and so that charge took a little bit longer. And I think the other vehicles that were there were also. It wasn't just the charger we were at; everybody was experiencing that. But for the most part, when you see superchargers and on your destination and it says like what the wattage is, that is predominantly true. Again, you might run into where it says one thing and then you just experience something else. We have found that is few and far between since we've had our Tesla, but it does happen. Tip six would be Look to join other charging networks. So consider joining networks like ChargePoint, EVgo, or Electrify America. You can pay for a membership, and this membership provides access to an even wider network of charging stations outside of the supercharging network. So it makes it even easier to find a charging spot when you're out and about. Tip 7 would be monitoring your charge status. So you can use the Tesla app or your vehicle's touchscreen to monitor your charging status. You set up notifications to alert you when your Tesla is fully charged or if there are any issues during your charging. Again, it makes sense to monitor what your charging status is, especially if you don't have equipment at home. And I will be honest, I don't have equipment at home. I did not get the mobile app, but I do continuously monitor my status to make sure that, if my vehicle is setting for a day or two and I'm just doing quick commute runs, that I'm not uh, losing all my power to battery drain and then not being able, when I need it to jump in my car and be able to go somewhere. Um, Tip 8 would be maximize your vehicle's efficiency. And to do that, you just maximize the Tesla's range by driving efficiently. That means no high speeds and, just kind of keeping your vehicle at the speed limit, making sure you're using the regenerative braking to put some charge back into the battery, keep your tires properly inflated, avoid the, the takeoff, which is fun in a Tesla, but you try to avoid the rapid acceleration or keep it to a minimum, and definitely don't do excessive speeding, and that helps control your energy or conserve your energy, and it does extend the driving range of your vehicle. Tip 9, navigating the superchargers. Again, I covered this earlier, but make sure you're taking advantage of the supercharging network when you're out and about. It's really helpful to know where your next charge is and to make sure that you can make it to the supercharger when you need it. Um, Tip 10, unless you're like going on a long drive, you don't want to charge to 100%. I think usually I keep mine charged at about 80. Sometimes I've gone a little bit higher, but I look to keep it at around 80% most of the time for my vehicle. Since we've had it, I'm just commuting, doing short trips. Even if we go on a little bit longer drives outside of my commuting range, 20, 25 miles, um, I still don't go over that 80% threshold. On long road trips, for sure, you want to maximize the vehicle, charge it up to 100%. And again, that helps you with the supercharger network as you're going on your road trip. It maps out when you need to stop, where you should stop to take advantage of the network. But again, if you're, excuse me, if you're doing a full charge, this actually could be bad for the battery health if you're doing it every time you charge. So I think that's why Tesla puts out the recommendation of charging to 80, 85%. And, you make sure that you're not going over that threshold. So I think with these tips, I've used quite a few of these tips, and I recommend that anybody with a Tesla should use these tips. This can help navigate owning a vehicle without a home charger, and it makes sure that you can charge your vehicle efficiently while you are on the go. Take advantage of the network, take advantage of other EV networks, signing up for memberships and stuff. If they are closer to your home, that is always a good idea. And it might come in handy when you're on a road trip. You might come across one of those other networks before you come across a supercharger, and that can really help keep the trip going and save you from calling roadside assistance. So that's the conclusion to these tips. I hope that they are helpful for anybody who, maybe just purchased a Tesla or even just thinking about a Tesla, getting a Tesla and not really sure about the home charging, about other charging networks, about supercharging, all the things that it can take to keep your vehicle charged, keep it running efficiently, and making sure you're taking advantage of these different networks that we have available. Um, so with that, I'm going to end this video. We are going to head to the pool and have some fun. So I hope that everybody has a great rest of their day, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.